This one from Dog Pound Daily. 3 remaining difficult questions for the Browns. Number 3, letting Za'Darius Smith walk. Smith was one of the bigger moves from the Vikings when they went and got him. 1-year deal. It was 11 and a half, something like that. The PFF projection on his contract is like 2 years, $25 million. I would think that the Browns would like to get Za'Darius Smith back. I know the sack numbers weren't off the charts. He and Miles seemed to work off of each other well. Pressure numbers were high. That defensive line, I know it didn't end well with the Houston Texans, but was a really good defensive line. It was a strength, and it would be interesting to get him back. All right, along those lines, another one of those 3 difficult decisions. Number 2, drafting another running back. Browns' running game with Nick Chubb was kind of all over the place. Ford, obviously isn't Nick Chubb. Had some explosive runs. He did have a couple of explosive runs, but I believe it was 16% of his carries went for negative yardage. Now, you can't blame it all on Jerome Ford. The line was banged up, the tackles. You're on your 4th and 5th tackles. But you cannot have that high of a negative run rate. 16%, that's almost 1 in every, say it's 1 in 6. 1 in every 6 runs you're losing yardage. If you do that on first down, that means you're behind sticks and you're playing catch up. If you're doing it on 3rd and short, you're not getting the first down. So the negative run rate kind of short circuits an offense, and you just can't have that. Number 1 is finding the fits for DeShaun Watson at the skill positions, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think this entire offseason will be about how do you make DeShaun Watson the kind of quarterback that he was when you gave up 3 first-round picks, some other capital. You paid him $230 million guaranteed. You have to find another wide receiver, assuming, and I can't imagine you're not keeping Amari Cooper because you don't have any. There's nothing there in the receiving room that you can count on without Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore, it may be that, the 5 quarterbacks hurt his production, but I was a guy that I loved Elijah Moore. I liked what he did at Ole Miss. I liked him in the draft process. He did not produce the way I thought he would. Cedric Tillman had some rookie pains where you saw late in the season some routes that weren't run properly. Just what you would expect, some growing pains for a young rookie wide receiver. David Bell did make some nice progress late in the season. So again, those are more, if Elijah Moore is my 3rd or 4th wide receiver, I feel a whole lot better. You got to find, be it free agency, draft, you got to find a viable number 2 that does some things that DeShaun Watson likes in a wide receiver to help him unlock his potential. The other thing is DeShaun Watson and David Njoku have to get on the same page. Historically, Watson is a guy who uses his tight end and uses him effectively, and a lot of what was unlocked with David Njoku was through Joe Flacco. So they got to continue to have Njoku be the force that he was late in the year with Flacco.